Nikita, I think there is voice around you because I have muted everyone.
No, there's no voice around me. The music or that song types you were saying?
Okay. All right. So now we are live on YouTube. Okay. Hi guys.
Okay.
Welcome to today's session. So this is
Thank you.
Priyanka Karwa from
Yes.
LawSikho team, and today we are going to discuss a very different topic, not as usual we do at LawSikho. So today we are going to discuss about women's returning to practice after a break and how you can ace it. Okay, now this has been a very interesting topic. Many of our students or women have approached us that can we have someone. So today we are going to discuss about women's returning to practice after a break and how you can ace it. All right, sorry guys for the inconvenience. Okay, so now there were a lot of women who approached us for this, and we thought that why not to have few women, and we can have a series of webinar where we can bring gems from the industry to discuss about this. So first of all, I would like to welcome So today I would like to welcome here Nikita Anand. Nikita is founding partner at Magnus Legal LLP. Nikita, it's over to you. I would like you to say a few words about yourself and introduce you. So can you please welcome to the session. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Priyanka. Hello, everybody. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. As Priyanka has introduced, I'm Nikita Anand. I'm a partner at Magnus Legal LLP. We are a law firm with the head office in New Delhi and at 4 other places: Kolkata, Ranchi, Mumbai, and Indore. So, as some of you may know me already, that I had been active in the field of social issues also. I have run a blog previously called mightylaws.in. So I had been in touch with writing, researching, etc. since the very beginning, since my college days. After my college graduation, I passed out from NLU Bhopal. After my college graduation, I joined Clifford Chance Business Services and I worked there for a year. Post that, I got married. My husband is also a lawyer, Mr. Ritesh Khare. So eventually, I joined his practice, legal practice in New Delhi. As it's today's topic, how women have taken a break from their active practice or legal profession and how can they bounce back. So I would like to narrate my story to give you a better background about the same. After my marriage, I and my husband made a conscious decision that I'll take a break and so that we can start a family and have children. So after I conceived and I had two kids with the age difference of 22 months. That was a very well thought of decision. So after having had two kids, I took a 5-year break. And then I rejoined practice in 2018, late 2018, I would say. So since then, I am back to work and managing the best I can, considering the challenges of having two kids, living in New Delhi, not having any parental support in the city itself. So we are making things work, and I thought I'll share my experience and my insights so as to help other women out there who are facing the same issue. Not just women, men too, because anybody can take a break from the profession. There could be many reasons, so as to why a person could take a break. Let's say marriage, relocation, childbirth, or let's say you have to take care of somebody in your family who is sick or unwell, and you're unable to continue your job because of the same. So I thought, why not do a session? And Priyanka helped a lot, obviously. I'm thankful to Team LawSikho for giving me this opportunity.
Thanks for joining us and giving your insights over here. So I've given you an option to screen share. So whenever you want, you can do that by yourself.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Priyanka.
Hmm.
So I'll share the screen and then I'll start so as to, we can discuss the concrete suggestions which I have here to share with people. Uh, to begin with, see, breaks can be very liberating, not having to go to work, or maybe there's something else capturing your attention. Maybe it's a baby at home, or somebody that you need to care for, or you have relocated. But there is always that fear and uncertainty that, will I be getting work back when I want to join the workforce? Would things be that easy when I think it's the right time to bounce back? So there are many questions which plague the minds of men and women who are taking a break. Uh, the people who are in the midst of looking for a new opportunity, the challenges which women generally face is like, loss of confidence. That, after having not been to work for several years, uh, people are highly underconfident. They don't really know, how to go about it again. They may have been very smart, very successful individuals, but after having had been away from all the hustle and bustle of office spaces and activities and commuting, people tend to be afraid a little. People tend to be afraid a little to rejoin. The second challenge is explaining a prospective recruiter so as to why you had to take a break, because not every recruiter is understanding. Uh, not everybody is accepting of your other responsibilities, let's say family or any other commitment that you may have. And also, any recruiter, let's say a law firm, a company, or any lawyer, if you wish to join after your break, they are looking for people who are coming with fresh ideas, who are up to date regarding laws and all the other practices. So your skill set may have been slightly outdated. That's a fact. It's a harsh truth, but it's a fact, because things change in the course of the years. In fact, life here, content wise, knowledge wise, legally, is so fast that things keep changing every month, every week. So you have to keep yourself updated. So any recruiter is afraid, what if the person I'm hiring is not updated? What if after a 5 year, 6 year, 7 year, maybe even a 2 year break, they have lost touch with the legal scenario around them? So these are few of the challenges which women face regarding the same. So I think I'll share the screen now. Yeah, just a second. Pardon this.
It's allowing you to share. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Can you
Get
see?
shared. Yeah, it is shared. Yeah.
Yes. So my first suggestion is take a planned break.
Yeah, you can continue, Nikita.
Yes. So that's the title: How to Bounce Back to Work After a Break. I have to move this around so that I can navigate. Yes. So the first thing here is that take a planned break. I know it's a very difficult thing that I'm demanding of people here, that you don't really know that where you will be able to join back work. But I would say that, set a deadline for yourself. Let's say if you're planning a baby, just think and, be very sure about of yourself that, let's say within 2 years, I would like to join back. Maybe when a baby is 1 year old, I would like to join back, and then work about the specifics which need to be done in order for you to successfully join work without having too many speed bumps. So though things are unpredictable, you don't really know. But if you're making a conscious decision of taking a break, and it's not just something very sudden which has come upon you, and you have to chuck your job and just sit back home because of XYZ reason. But then again, always remember to set a deadline that this is when I would want to come back. Let's move to the second suggestion that I have here is, can you see the whole thing?
Yeah, we can.
Yes. Keep in touch with the colleagues and acquaintances in the network. So here, what I have to say is that when somebody is working, you have a very large group of friends, work friends. All right. Friends who work with you, who are from your college, who are having similar work profiles in different companies or different law firms or different offices. So what you do here is that once you have even left your job, try and make conscious effort to be in touch with these colleagues or friends. Because when you think of joining back, these are the people who would smoothen your way to join back work. So therefore, let's say stay in touch through WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and any other common interest or areas that you share with such people. And that would immensely help you in joining back work when you decide to. So this is one. Now this is two actually. So number three, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to pose, as and when we are moving with the suggestions.
As you can post in the chat box, or the people those who are listening this on YouTube can write in the YouTube chat. I'll take all the questions with Nikita.
Sure, that'll be lovely. The third suggestion that I'm making here is take on freelance work. What happens is when you take a break, sometimes people are in such a liberated mood that they don't really have to do anything. Whatever they are doing, they'll be able to give that task their full attention. But the fact is that if you feel that you would want to join back work at any point of time in future, you should take up freelance work relating to the field you were working earlier at. Let's say I was working as a lawyer previously and I took a break. If you can spare, let's say, 2 hours a day apart from your schedule at home, uh, you could pick up freelance work. Let's say I'll give some examples so as to make this session more substantial. Examples of freelance work in the legal field would be, let's say, join a research project, join a think tank who is looking for researchers who can work from home and assist them. There are startups who need people to help them from home. You can also take that work if you can help them in any manner. You can start drafting at home. If writing legal briefs was your strength, then do not let it go. I would strongly suggest that. You have your friends who would be working in the field, offer them to help. You know, just let them know that you're available, let's say for 2 to 3 hours in a day. And if there are any applications to be made, submissions to be done, ask them that, maybe you could do it for them. They'll be happy, that there's somebody to help them. And also you'll be able to keep yourself updated. So picking up freelance work makes it very easy for you to explain in your CV the gap of few years that you have taken. That would help you a lot during the interviews, and to let the recruiter know that you were actually in touch with the subject area in which you were working. So this is another suggestion. Let's move forward. Number 4 is staying updated. Uh, Here, it's a very integral part of taking a break that staying updated cannot be denied. Definitely, you cannot avoid being updated, or just take it lightly. There are so many ways that you can stay updated. Let's say take up online courses. Like we are doing a session with LawSikho here. So any lawyer who has taken a break and you have time, so you can take these online courses on the latest legal developments and to advance your knowledge of the existing laws or your work area. That ways you would be in touch. Your recruiter would be happy to see that you have learned so much even while on a break. So this makes you smart, updated, and very confident about the work that you would be willing to take up after joining work again. uh, as a part of staying updated, you can join discussion forums. You could conduct research, as I mentioned, in freelance work. You could do something on your own also. Let's say take up a research project. Next would be writing, uh, drafting for friends, as I already mentioned. I'll give you an example from my own life that when I was on a break, I was taking these sessions with LawSikho and updating myself. I'm also a Master Access user at LawSikho, so that helped me a lot because I had variety of things to pick up from and learn. Uh, what I did was that even though I was not at work actively, not practicing, not going to office, simply taking care of kids, I took time to do what I liked. I like to write, so I kept writing. I published articles in newspapers on social issues, legal issues. I wrote blogs. Also, as in when I could get drafting work from the office, I did that so that I can stay updated and help the office grow. So this is how being updated work. And I know there are so many listeners who are not from the legal field and are part of this webinar. I would tell them also, in whatever field you're working, just try to keep yourself abreast of any activities, any advancement taking place in your field. Let's say if you are an engineer who has taken a break because of any commitments, you could learn softwares at home, uh, or take trainings, online trainings, so that things become easier for you and you feel confident. Let's move on to the next suggestion that I have here. This is the best one, and something that every woman out there needs to remember. It's about being
संजय भाई
motivated. Being motivated, don't lose hope. You know what happens as a woman when you are working in household work, you have hundreds of things to do, and if there's a baby in the house, things can be overwhelming. Honestly, I know, ask me, I have two kids. So, and when you think, now it's time for me to join, or even when have this faint notion in your mind, you imagine, how do I manage things? Who will take care of kids? Who is going to take care of my household? These things seem so daunting and challenging that you don't really know if there's a way out of this problem. So I would say that you need to have a pep talk with yourself. You need a supportive family. I always had very supportive families, maybe my in-laws, my own parents, my friends out there. They always helped me in my confidence boosting. There was a time I felt, कि यार अब तो it's like a retirement for me. I can't really do anything. मुझे लगता नहीं है कि मैं वापस जा पाऊंगी ever. Writing from home, freelancing aside, working for me actively in the office would be impossible. But uh, time had its own course. I had that uh, confidence, motivation from people around me, and eventually I planned things. My older one joined nursery school, so I sent him to school in the morning. Younger one was like 1.5 year old. So what I did was I started tagging him along to the office. Since my husband had own practice, so there wasn't really any major issue with me carrying a child to office. There are so many organizations who have daycare facility for the women who want to bring children to the office. So that would be very useful for women who are working in such workplaces. As for me, I started taking my kids to the office. They would play around. There was a park in front of the office. I had to take help from a hired support staff to take care of the kids so that I could actually work. And then we had to work around. if a client is coming to office, you really can't have kids screaming around the table and disturbing everybody. That's a funny situation, professionally not appreciated, understandable. So what we did, we would make arrangements, that it's either me or Ritesh who's taking care of the kids, or if possible, if the weather is pleasant and kids are happy to play outside, we would send them out of the office so that we can actually devote our time to the client. So you have to make some arrangements which help you. So next, I would come to a very pertinent question which plagues everybody out there: what to do if you're unable to find a job? You have tried, you have failed, things aren't going your way, and especially now that we have had a major hit to the economy after COVID-19, things are difficult for even those who had a job previously. So many firms, so many organizations have taken huge financial losses. They are looking to cut jobs, and the picture is not very rosy for anybody who is looking to take up a job. So, this discussion that we are having is very practical, very rational, and I would want people, those who are listening to me, to not to, bring your ego here while you're listening to my suggestions. If I make a suggestions, chuck your ego and then try to understand what exactly I'm trying to say. My first suggestion here is that if you're unable to find a job which pays, take up an internship. I know it's very shocking. Not many people would be willing to be an intern after having been worked for so many years, having experience from previous work profiles, and then I'm suggesting here to be an intern. But the fact is that as an intern, you have a lighter workload. You know what you're looking at. You will be able to see how much time you can spare for the work and balance things at home. Initially, the internship may not be a paid internship, but if you have a skill set, you'll be able to impress your seniors, you'll be able to impress your supervisor and the lawyers that you're working for. And then eventually, if they feel that your work is promising, you are committed to the job, and you're able to give time and strike the correct balance between your household responsibilities and the work to be done, then they'll be more than happy to offer you a job which you can continue, because you will be confident about your capabilities and time management skills. So this is my first suggestion. Second would be, since the majority of you listening here are lawyers, uh, you could assist a practicing lawyer. Let's say not everybody is here from law firms or companies, in-house councils, banks, etc. But you could simply offer your services to any of the practicing lawyers that you know in your city, that sir, maybe in the evenings I'll be able to give you 3 hours without pay. Don't expect to be paid on the first month of your job. I am back, I would want to be paid, I am the king, I am the queen. No, that doesn't really happen. So yeah, ego aside, very down to earth attitude is required here. And it's like you are a fresher. Just pretend that you're a fresher. That way, as you pick up things, you're not ashamed if you don't know something which you should have known. So in order to have a more confident attitude, you could start with, let's say, assisting somebody for 3 hours in the evening. This you can also do with your household responsibilities. So the first suggestion that I gave here is internship. Second is assisting a practicing lawyers. Third is start actively drafting at home. Let's say if you don't have a job, the people who still have drafting work, because there's so many law firms out there who are still flushed with work even in the bad economy, because every company out there is looking for legal opinions on how to go about the changed economic scenario. So there are law firms and your friends who might be having enough work already, which they might be willing to share with you. So if you can ask people, to send you drafting work, draft legal opinions, draft submission, drafting applications, you can assist people like that. Uh, My next suggestion would be that whatever time you have in your hand, you, if you haven't already had the opportunity to, you know, update yourself, take up online courses, discussion forums, reading blogs, subscribing to any portal which is sharing legal knowledge, then you can start doing now. This is the golden time. We are listening everywhere, you know, on Facebook, Instagram. Update yourself. If you haven't done anything in this lockdown, you would never do anything. So yeah, partially I would say it's true, but there are so many responsibilities during COVID-19 also, that women are having hard time finding time for their career and career and professional commitments. So if you can find time, take up a course, learn as much you can. Learning, and learning is the mantra. Because even when you're learning, it's not an isolated activity. You meet you online, you meet 10 new people, maybe your colleagues in the online course. LawSikho has a wonderful community of lawyers whom you can stay in touch with. You are staying in touch with your teachers, so that way you're building your own professional circle even while learning. So that helps. You never know whom from where or whom a help might come to you. uh, you'll be able to resume work, or there's some task which you like so much and that you may want to resume. That would be your career path. So this is these are my suggestions which I had to help people who are unable to find a job as of now. So the next thing that I have written, that work from home. Working from home would be the best way right now, considering hardly anybody is able to go to office. So I'll just stop sharing my screen. Just a second. Yeah, can you see me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes. So working from home, if we can start there. I guess Priyanka may have some suggestions, because Priyanka is somebody I learned from since past few days that we have been interacting. That she's also a mother who is working from home, and I would really like Priyanka to say something, you know, tell us that how she has been managing kids and home and working from home. So over to you, Priyanka.
Oh God, thanks, Nikita, for this, that I could share my views. Guys, I would also like, as Nikita has given me the opportunity. So I'm not a lawyer, by the way. I started my job with LawSikho. It would be almost 5 years. I'll be completing in August. I joined when I delivered my first baby. After 3 months, I was like, I don't want to go out, don't want to leave my kid at home. Though I had my in-laws, but still, there is some kind of motherhood which comes from inside, that no, no, not now. I don't want to leave my child. And eventually, at that time, I got an opportunity with LawSikho. I work for them initially for 15-20 days. I work for just free. Just I wanted to check whether I will be able to do or not. And after that, I was offered a job with LawSikho. Until then, I never turned back. I am still working from home. I have my first baby has turned 5 years now. My second baby, she has turned 9 months, and still I am doing work from home and managing it properly. I do every day 9 hours work, and that too I started after, like, even right now when my baby was 4 months, I started 9 hours work. The only thing is you need to build a support system. You need to make yourself and your family or anyone, like, just make them aware that no, you will have to give that much time. Firstly, you should yourself be confident enough that okay, this is what I want to do, and I will be doing this. And based on that, you need to change the mindset of people. You need to make them understand everything, that why you are doing so. You can take a break. Like, even I would have taken a break again, because there are two kids, and that too, like, super active kids nowadays. So it becomes really difficult even working from home. I'm very clear about my strategies at home as well. I don't go out of my room. I keep myself locked. I have support people at home, so they take care of themselves. I'm very, I would say, I'm very strict mom. Even if my kids keep crying, first is for me is that okay, people are there to take care of them. So just focus on your work. So I go out on particular time frames only, and that's how I manage my work. And hopefully, as of now, I am doing. Let's see how I can continue further. Thanks,
Great.
Nikita, for giving me the opportunity. It's
Thank you,
over to you
Priyanka,
now.
for this insight. Adding to the practical challenges which women who are in fact practicing lawyers in litigation are facing. I'll tell you one incident because generally I and Ritesh take turns, to attend court because one of us has to be back at the office so that kids are supervised. I'm not really confident about leaving my kids with the hired help. There are so many mothers out there who have the same sort of reservations, considering today's moral values and crime rates. Like, nobody knows crime statistics better than lawyers here. So I am
Right.
apprehensive. So as to leave kids in care of unknown people whom you have hired. So, but thankfully I have reliable staff. But still, I and Ritesh take turns to go to the court. But there came a time when there was a hearing where both of us were required. So I had to keep both the kids outside the court in the parking in the cab with a driver and a maid. So the fact is that such situations will arise. And it's not just me, the women who are litigating. Recently, Priyanka was telling me about somebody, a woman lawyer who was attempting to rejoin practice, and she had the fear of losing the current clients. And she had to ferry the baby all over to the court in the car with her everywhere. So, women are capable of taking immense challenges. I admired the lawyer whom we were discussing about. There are other women also, but then again you have to strike a balance so that your baby is in a comfort zone and you can also resume work. So the practical things that I've seen in my vicinity, in my friend circle of women who are lawyers and who have had babies, they tend to take a two-floor office. Let's say the house is on the first floor and the office on the ground floor. So that means even if kids are playing on the first floor, they have access to you, you have access to your kids, immediate access to the kids. So like currently, I manage the office, I manage the transactions, I supervise the drafting, and coordinate with all the associates that we have at the office. So I make the conscious sacrifice that I don't really have to strive for everything, that I want to draft also, manage office also, entertain clients also, attend courts also. No, I can't do everything. I have my limitations. And I knew where I can limit myself and be actively the part of the profession. So I chose, because my husband was also a lawyer. So mine is a special case, I would say, that he could handle the litigation and I could manage the office. With our combined ideas, combined efforts, we expanded the practice, made a law firm, made it even bigger, offices in multiple cities. So it was a gradual progression. It's not that you can jump into the profession out of the blue in one day. No, it doesn't happen. It takes you know a lot longer than that. And but then again, this is independent practice litigation that I'm discussing here. uh, if you are somebody who is looking to join a law firm as an employee or an associate or a company, then things would be different from you. If you have just taken a maternity break and then you wish to join back, and if your law firm is happily accepting you to be back, then you can make alternate arrangements for your baby, or maybe take a house near to your law firm, so that you have access to your child in case anything goes wrong or you need to attend the child and also uh, dedicate yourself to the practice, and try and get options of work from home. I understand it's difficult, very difficult. Not every employer is willing to offer that. But now that things are changing and it's sort of a boon, the changing scenario that from active office work to work from home profile after COVID-19. It's sort of a boon in disguise for millions of women out there who would want to work from home. So you never know. Opportunities will be more. You may be in your comfort zone at your home and you'll be able to make some money, even while staying at home, taking care of your babies and fulfilling all your responsibilities. So let's see how things go. We don't really know how the picture would be, let's say 1 month or 2 months down the line, how much time the economy will take to recover. But let's be hopeful and confident. Never give up. That's the mantra. You are smart, you are beautiful, you have done great work before, and you have experience too. So, if you have those many things with you, then why do you have to be afraid of joining back work? Make attempts, send your CV across, use your prior contacts, your network, your friends, ask them for work, offer free help. It may happen that you are not being monetarily compensated, but then you will have that satisfaction ki no, I am doing what I'm actually supposed to do. I am doing what I actually know how to do. So these things matter a lot. So being confident, being sure of your skill set and efforts would make you an indispensable asset for any organization that you may want to work with. There'll be many challenges. Kids might not be well. There would be a family member who is needing your attention. If you're married, then every girl, as you know, may have some responsibilities towards your in-laws or your family, or whatever religious or cultural practices that we have prevalent in India. You would have to balance it out on your own. I would again say things will not be easy. You need a lot of mental strength and physical fitness. Yes. So meditation, yoga are great options. Though I'm not very regular at practicing yoga myself, but still I suggest people, because if you can do that, if you can have uh, that mental and physical fitness both, then I think you'll be unbeatable at your job, at your work. So try and incorporate the suggestions which I have given here, so that you don't really face many hurdles at the time of joining back the work. Yeah. Priyanka, I would finish here and would love to entertain any questions that people are posing.
Yeah, definitely there are questions, but I would also like to add few points here that
Yes.
whoever is like anyone who takes break, they can join back within next 2 to 3 months if they get a work from home opportunities. Okay,
Yes.
so even though I understand there will be a lot of difference monetarily, that when you go out the salaries, there is a lot of difference, but still you should not stop, and that will keep you updated. And and you will not even like, you can take 4 hours or like as a like a freelance job, as already Nikita has shared, but take something, so that don't stop yourself that okay, I'll join after 1 year or so, whatever. At least utilize your time as much as possible you can. The life is very difficult being a mom, and as a woman it's very difficult. We know we start early and we are the people only at home who stop at late nights, but still the enthusiasm and the motivation, that we can't stop. We need to keep that with ourselves, right? So Nikita,
Yes.
there are questions for you, so I'm going to start. People, everyone who wants to ask something can write in the chat box. First question I'm taking here is, this is regarding one person who has written on YouTube, that what is to be done if you are socially shy person? If I, of course, I know most of people are social media savvy, but for those minority 1%, like the people don't like to be on social media or they are less into the network. So what would they do?
Uh, I'll tell you what. There is a very small number of people. Uh, I am wondering about this person's profile, because generally lawyers are outwardly. Uh, uh, Almost every lawyer is extrovert because that's the demand of a field. Public dealing is something that we have to do. So I'm assuming the person who has asked the question may not be from the field. So I would suggest here is, uh, that you could take a project, because research writing is something you don't really have to be, socially out there in order to do. Creative work, I would say most of the designers are introverts. They might not know how to interact with people or be socially active or comment or be out there. So creative fields are for people who may be shy, as you have just posed the question. And if the person asking the question is in the legal field, then I would suggest that go into creative writing, write books, write blogs, or publish research papers. Start drafting from home. You don't really have to attend courts or be socially savvy in order to do drafting work. So yeah, these are the general suggestions that I have for you right now, but would be happy to help later, if you could connect with me directly and tell me more about yourself so that I have concrete suggestions to make to you.
All right. So, next person, Sumyogita, she has asked that if we are ready and willing for internships, would organization be prepared to take us on in the light of younger entrants fresh out of college?
Depends on the organization that you're applying, how you're applying. There are so many blogs which guide you so as to how to apply for internship. It's a whole subject in itself. Writing random emails or not being able to impress a prospective, I would say, organization where you would want to be an intern. Uh, would be a bad idea, because try and make your profile to be perfect. Even if you're fresh out of college, you would have some skill sets or strength which you can highlight in your CV. So I would say that, start reading about the subject that I've just mentioned, that how to get an internship or a job. If you learn more by your online research, reading blogs, and using the resources which are freely available, it will immensely help you so that you can obtain an internship at any organization that you will. And also, yes, your grades and your performance, your publications, there's so many things which matter uh, uh, while applying for internship, because I know I take in interns, I hire people, I conduct interviews. So I have sort of, that insight in a recruiter's mind, that what exactly we're looking for while we want somebody working in our organization. Apart from these things, your attitude, your pleasant personality, your dedication to work also matters.
Okay. So there is a next question from Bushra. Just a second. So Bushra is one of our drafting student, and she is from she's from Bahrain, I think so, if I'm not wrong. So Bushra has asked a question. She is also on a break from almost 10 years. So she has written that I tried applying, but as soon as I say that I can only work part time, they excuse and say no. They are looking for full time. I'm willing to work at a reduced salary or even free, but my friends say that will be underselling you on that. I should never do that. Then what should I do?
uh, as you have listened to both of us, I and Priyanka, uh, you realize that both of us are saying that, don't expect to be very highly paid at the beginning, or at the resume of your career again. See, you have to think from the point of view of the recruiter also. They would want, if they're paying somebody, they would want pura full time ka dedication and services from them. If I am paying somebody, I would not want, कि आधा दिन काम करके मुझको पैसा देना है, because there's so many other options available जो पूरा दिन काम करने को तैयार है for the same
Sorry,
amount
it's
of
a,
money.
sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. Her
Yeah.
question is, like she is okay to work for the less salary, but
Yes.
she want to work for few hours. But her friends say that she should not do that.
I don't agree with your friends. Matlab, I think the takeaway from this session should be that chuck your ego aside. Matlab, it's not about selling yourself short, at the end of the day, you are in the legal field or any other field that you may be from. It's a respectable job. What I said, even if you have to join back as an intern, do that, because you will be actually popping back into the field that you were actually working previously. So I do not agree with your friends that you're selling yourself short. Uh, I understand that you may have reservations of working for less money, but it won't be the same always, would it? Things would change, your salary package would improve over the amount of time. I'll give you an example, very practical. Let's suppose you had been working from last 10 years and you had 10% salary increase in every year. So you would have been at a very higher level package had you been working from last 10 years. But because you could not work for last 10 years, you would get a competitive salary, as in, lesser salary according to the time that you have lost. So don't take it on yourself. Don't doubt your skill set. Don't doubt your confidence, or don't doubt your capability to do something. Impress people by your work. Even you have to work for less money, do that. And just think that it's all the increments that you have lost in last 10 years. That's why you're getting paid less. It's a very simple tool to convince yourself that you're not selling yourself short. Have
Okay.
I been
Now
able
there
to
is an,
answer the query? Yes.
yeah, please give us a heads up like whether your query has been answered as you wanted. Now, second question is from Vijay Lakshmi. After a break of 10, 15 years age bar, for so many opportunities and it's difficult to get a job in tier two cities, what to do in this case? Like after a long break, so what to do? And they want in the good cities.
Uh, is their profession mentioned by any chance?
No, not mentioned. Yeah, not mentioned over here.
Not
Vijay Lakshmi,
mentioned.
can you mention the question, please?
By the time Vijayalakshmi is answering, I would say that, working online makes it easier for everybody, whether it's any city that you're living, whether it's Metro, Gurgaon, Delhi, Noida, Hyderabad, Bangalore, doesn't matter. Or in smaller cities, living with your parents, alone, whatever, fulfilling your responsibilities, working online is the mantra. So there are so many opportunities that you can do. In fact, I'll tell you, even if you want to diverge from what you were doing, practical professional work, you have options to start something through the social media. If you have bare minimum knowledge of social media, you could start. You have Instagram, you could make your own page, start awareness from your field. Like back in college, what I did was I had this blog mightylaws.in. I simplified the complex laws. We had a very big team with from law students across the country. We were doing great. So what we did was we simply learned, summarized the laws in very simple language so that every person in India could be aware of exactly what governs them. So that is something that we started from Bhopal. It's not a major city. We were working online and we were studying alongside, but we were doing something. So, activities such as that keep you updated. If done right, they'll be commercially successful. There's a strong chance that you'll be able to make money. And it's not just blogging, you have video blogs. Start sharing your own videos, explaining about things that you know. You have Instagram pages which you could begin. You could offer to people free legal help. There are so many people, so many women, so many families who are not financially secure and they need legal help. Start with that. As simple as that. You don't really need to have a job in order to be a lawyer. All you need to do is help people. So yeah, look for the people who need your help.
Okay. So there is a next question from Priyanka. I have been working at a firm for almost 2 years for free part time, and I actually spoken to them about it. They said you are able to work only for 3 to 4 hours. That calculates to 21 hours of a week. So how can we pay you?
Like not pay at all.
No, she did a free part-time work from 2 years. Priyanka, this is a situation you should be when like others used to come for 8 to 9 hours and she used to work for 3 to 4 hours. and she was not paid because she used to work 21 hours a week. I think this is totally a wrong notion which the company where you are working they are doing with you, right,
I
Nikita?
think it's borderline exploitation, honestly. But I'm happy that she's able to work. But then again, I don't think it's fair, honestly. So I think maybe you could think of switching or joining a new
Yes.
company.
Right. Priyanka, you should think for some other options, and do let us know if you can, if you want to connect with me. Let's have a general conversation if required. Okay. So please, I don't think you should continue there, right, Nikita? I
Yes,
definitely don't feel so. It is
it has
really
been far too
depressing
long.
and demotivating. Okay. So
Yeah.
now we have there is one question. As the whole life is challenging for women in every aspect and has taken break from legal field for almost 10 years, want to return but the family doesn't support, whereas she is not aware of digital platform to work from home, then what else she had left?
As I suggested previously, that in order to just get in touch with the stream that you had lost touch from last 10 years, as you've just mentioned, you could request your family, try to convince them to see your way, and maybe if there's any lawyer in your locality whom you can go and assist. That would be the best suggestion I could give. Maybe when children are playing in the park in the evening, so you could spare time from 5 to 7. It's before the dinner time, you can go back home and make preparations if that is one of your responsibilities at home. So spare time for yourself. 5 to 7 is a suitable time where most of the lawyers are available in their offices. So you can go and start assisting them. You know, Learn how they are working, offer them for any research, any drafting to be done. That ways you'll be able to catch up with the skill set and also update yourself. As far as you not being aware about the social media options available in today's age, I would strongly suggest that whenever you have time, you could start reading blogs about social media, how to update yourself. There are so many self-help books which you can read. How to impress people, how to make friends. Uh, you have such inspiring books as Think and Grow Rich. So there are so many self-help books which change your outlook towards life. So even if you're not actually in touch with the current scenario, you could pick up people skill. I believe, being in the family way for such a long time, you may need to regain your confidence, your people skills, your legal skills, obviously. But as I suggested beforehand, also legal courses, things which train you for better social media presence, making connections would be the best way you can tackle this problem. So even if you don't work actively, start making friends, connect with your previous acquaintances in the legal field, and see if you can help them in any way, and they can help you in any manner.
Also, they can be active on LinkedIn, write blog posts,
Yes,
post over there, keep your connections on, just start connecting with the people, right? So,
yes.
there are few questions on our YouTube. So, the question is, which area of litigation is good and safe for female? Civil practice is not good, but what would you suggest? This is from Vaishali.
You was a very difficult question, Vaishali, because there's no area in particular which is safe or unsafe for women. See, I don't know how you define safe. If you're referring to the general atmosphere of courtrooms, yes, I agree. Things can be cruel there. The male lawyers may be unforgiving and harsh. They may make some comments about your clothing, your character, or generally, if they see you're far too confident, some people out there would try to break you. It happens. Not everybody could be happy to see you succeed. And if you women in the courtroom, it's not the best thing to happen. I know things happen like that, especially in smaller cities where things are not very, I would say, comfortable for women folk. In Supreme Court, NCLTs, and generally atmosphere in Delhi is fine. I don't see any. very apparent disrespect towards women there, but elsewhere I'm not so sure. So as far as safe areas for women to practice, see, women are almost in every area. Like personally, myself, I have counseled rape victims. I have had women who have been victim of domestic violence and other atrocities. So I was confident enough to be able to talk to them about it. And you, when you're dealing with such sensitive matters, uh, you, I don't know, it takes different sort of strength and counseling and support to your clients. Safe and unsafe would be very subjective. Let's say there are commercial matters, company related, money recovery, check bounce cases, so many areas in the civil field itself, which you can take up. Criminal practice is another ball game altogether. But if you're specifically referring to civil area, then there are generally, safe areas for women to practice. So commercial matters is something that you can look at.
All right. Thank you. There is now second question by Hamza. Hello, I completed my law in 2014, but I don't have any legal experience as I was busy in my own business. But I want to pursue my legal career now. I don't know from where to start. Can you please guide me?
I don't know the nature of business that you were pursuing. Had you told me, I would have asked you to do something along the same lines your business was in. Uh, since you have legal knowledge, but I would say you have lack of experience. So what you can do is you could join a lawyer, a practicing lawyer. Start by assisting him or her. I wouldn't suggest that you go and start applying to organizations and companies because they are looking for certain experience. But if there are any job opportunities which are hiring freshers and they may be happy to have your skill set and experience from the previous business, then you can try. If but not, I would say that you start assisting a lawyer whom you may know of, somebody in your family or in your acquaintance or a circle. So that would be the best way to breach that profession at this time.
Okay,
In
so
fact,
she
Priyanka, there's one more suggestion that I had for the people who had been asking me what to do from home. Legal practice is not just about appearing in the court. There are so many other things which have to happen. Let's say filling up of forms, registration of companies, patent applications, trademark registrations, etc. So these registrations, form filling, etc., can easily happen from home if you know how to do it. If you can put your services out there, you know that this is what I do and this is what I'm confident about doing. You can pay me to do that and I'll do that. If you have your clients, let's say two, three people who have been initially confident to give you a task, you can have their testimonials for your other clients that you're successful at doing this work. So that sort of helps in building the practice at home. You don't really have to, go out of your house or face add-on challenges of managing household and office both. So your home would be your office if you're doing such work.
thanks for sharing this.
Yes.
Now Hamza has shared that she was running her own manufacturing firm. Okay, and now she
Wow.
want to get back to the legal. Can she intern somewhere or she should take LLM? What should she can do?
Hamza, see that if you're thinking of pursuing LLM, that is specialization, as you would already know. So, if you're looking to specialize in a particular field of law, then you can pick it up. So, that for that you already need to know what you like or what is that you would want to work in as a lawyer. So, if you can pinpoint the area, then yes, further qualification is never a bad idea. You get to learn, you get to make new friends, and obviously get command over the subject that you have decided to pursue. So LLM would be a nice idea, and also start getting online trainings. They are always available at your convenience. So online trainings, going for masters, starting assisting a lawyer, or generally helping people around you. Let's say legal counseling would be something that I would suggest.
Okay. So Nikita, I want to ask you personally one thing.
Yes.
You had a law firm, then you were practicing, you were keeping yourself updated. Just a personal question which I want to throw on you. Then,
Yes.
what made you join Master Access with LawSikho?
I'll tell you what. See, I was keeping myself updated, but Master Access at LawSikho opened my, I would say, opened me to lot many other areas of knowledge. Let's say if I have a client who is looking for something entirely different, uh, apart from what I already do. See, currently at our firm, we have few areas of specialization: builder disputes, medical negligence, banking and insurance, and IBC. So these are the few areas that we generally work upon. But let's say if a client comes to me for a legal opinion or something totally unrelated, then what do I do? Whom do I turn to? Either I try to call up my seniors or people whom I know from the area, that would be one source. But not everybody is available to guide you at this point, you know. किसके पास time होता है in order to help you. So LawSikho gave me that opportunity that I have a variety of courses available. I can access them whenever I want. And if there's something that I have to give my suggestions or counsel on the very next day, then I can access the content and keep myself updated, even overnight, you know. So that is the way to learn. And Master Access gave me access to all the courses that LawSikho is offering. So even better.
All right, thanks. So now there is one more question. That is like, ma'am, I want to pursue law, but in today's scenario of job losses in corporate, is good idea to pursue law?
Uh, see, uh, ये answer is not a very subjective, objective answer. It's a very subjective answer. I tell people कि वो करो जो तुमको actually पसंद हो. What you're actually passionate about. If you think that you'll be a great lawyer, you have that inclination towards law, then yes, you should do it. ठीक है? I'll give you an example from my own life. When I was a child, I was I think in ninth or tenth standard. I used to like to do one thing. I was good at debates. Yes, that's another part. There are so many people who have other interests are maybe good at debating, talking, general social skills. But there's another thing I liked was when my parents took a new insurance policy every year. So I was the one, you know, who would flip it and then try to read the fine print so as to what this policy says. So, you know, that sort of tells somebody's inclination, even if you're a child, that, you know, अच्छा इसको इस चीज में interest है, ये actually fine print पढ़ना चाहती है. So that tells people that, you know, she'll be a good lawyer. That told me also that I might be a good lawyer. So yes, now check that what sort of inclination do you have. Job losses हैं, नौकरी मिलेगी नहीं, नहीं मिलेगी. 5 साल बाद it will take you 5 years to qualify. If you're already a graduate, then 3 years, yes. So 5 साल बाद 3 साल बाद क्या होने वाला है, nobody knows. तो इस डर के मारे लॉ नहीं करना कि जॉब मिलेगी या नहीं कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस में, आई थिंक दैट्स अ बैड आइडिया. ये सोचो कि क्या तुम लॉयर बनना चाहती हो. If you think you have potential to be a good lawyer, no matter what, no matter the challenges, no matter the job market, you would secure a position for yourself as a great lawyer if you have genuine inclination towards being a lawyer. Yeah, I hope this answers your question.
All right, so I'm done with the questions.
Yes.
Can you give us the closing note? Any other tips that you would like to share with the women who are out here and other people looking to this webinar?
Uh, what do I say? You know, I generally shared what I had to say. Uh, I would say that do not doubt your capabilities. आप जो चाहो कर सकते हो. औरतों के पास इतना पोटेंशियल होता है कि वो बड़े से बड़े काम कर सकती है. मतलब आई वुड गिव यू अ बेयर basic example which has inspired me. uh, some people might be shocked to listen to this कि यहाँ पर हम प्रोफेशनल प्रोफेशनली अपडेट होने की बात कर रहे हैं और we are discussing doing great things in the legal profession. But few years ago I saw a woman, even you guys may have come across such a scene पहले भी, जो एक लेबर थी. शी वाज अ मजदूर. तो वो एक गड्ढा खोद रही थी जमीन में एंड द बेबी वाज टाइड ऑन हर बैक. ठीक है. तो चीजें वैसे भी होती हैं. दैट वुमन इज ट्राइंग टू मेक मनी थ्रू हर हार्ड लेबर. वो पत्थर भी तोड़ रही है, गड्ढा भी खोद रही है, बच्चा पीछे बंधा हुआ है पीठ पे, यू नो, so that she could take care of the child, because obviously there is nobody else who can take care of the baby. She is the only one. So she is trying to make the ends meet, making money, working hard, taking care of the baby. तो अगर एक औरत इतना कर सकती है, तो हम whom I think are financially well off that than that poor woman, तो हम कुछ अपने कंफर्टेबल हाउस होल्ड में बैठकर, कंफर्टेबल वर्क इन्वायरमेंट में बैठकर हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते? थोड़ा सैक्रिफाइस लगेगा, बहुत सारी मेहनत लगेगी. आई थिंक दिमाग हिल जाता है, इतने चैलेंजेस आते हैं औरत की जिंदगी में, यू नो, व्हेन यू आर वेंचरिंग आउट टू डू समथिंग ऑन योर ओन, टू मेक अ नेम फॉर योरसेल्फ, मेक अ प्लेस फॉर योरसेल्फ. बट इंस्पिरेशन अगर छोटी जगह से भी मिल रही है तो ले लो. इंस्पिरेशन लेते रहोगे, आगे बढ़ते रहोगे. खुद के दम पे सब कुछ करना चाहोगे तो चीजें मुश्किल होती हैं. आस्क फॉर हेल्प इफ यू कैन गेट. पेरेंट्स से हेल्प लो, in-laws से help लो, any friends that you may have, you know, those will be able to help you. Take help, keep learning, and be inspired, be motivated. That's the conclusive note that I have to say here. So don't lose hope. आप सब कुछ कर सकते हो, आप में बहुत क्षमता है.
All right. Thanks, Nikita. Guys, can you please quickly rate us? Like, how was your today? How was your experience with today's webinar? And please share your inputs on the chat box quickly. We'll wait for next 5 minutes for you. Thanks, Nikita. Thanks for sharing all your insights and motivating people around there. Even if we would able to change 5 women's life or have motivated them a little bit, like today we have done something. I would say that.
आई थिंक, यू नो, थोड़ा सा भी आप किसी को इंस्पायर कर सको, कोई आपके कारण कुछ पा जाता है, कुछ बन जाता है, कुछ वापस पा लेता है, वुड से, बिकॉज the women listening may be very well accomplished women, you know, till few years back, but considering the circumstances, they are in a tight spot right now. But if we can give them inspiration to be something they were already, then yeah, it'll be great. And if there's anybody who needs further help or guidance, feel free to connect with me. My Instagram handle is the Free Thinking Wife. Facebook may you will find Nikita Anand. So, and yeah, I think Priyanka, you could share my profile link in the comments. If there's anybody who may want to connect, they should get in
Okay.
touch with me.
All right. So, guys, I'll just share the profile link of Nikita. Okay. Or like if anyone wants, can connect with me directly. So I'll share that with them. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to just check it right away. Then I'll share. I'll just put the LinkedIn link of yours
Yes.
on the chat box.
Yes.
And by the way, you have received 10 on 10 by everyone out there. And this was a very encouraging session.
Thank you, people. Yep. Thank you, Priyanka, for your efforts and encouragement. I'll thank the whole LawSikho team who had made this event a success and had been here to help us in every step of the way. And through your great work, you have been helping so many people out there and to make a difference in their life. So, yeah, really admirable.
Thank you so much. Just a second, guys. I'll just give the link quickly today. Just give me a moment, please. I'm unable to get into that. Just a second. Something has went wrong over here. All right. So I'm just sharing here with everyone Nikita's LinkedIn profile link. So if you want, you can just connect to her. You can ask any questions which you have and just connect to her. The session was really helpful and enlightening, quite inspirational, 10 on 10. All right. Thanks, Nikita. Thanks for your time.
So much.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.